baby, grand rising. Good afternoon and good evening. I thank you in advance for your viewership and support. Y'all, my ring light got to doing the most, so I'm improvising. Let me know if the lighting, comes off okay, because I had to just go ahead and go get one of my vanity mirrors so that I could have lighting. But y'all, if a cautionary tale could ever play out in the life of a person, it would be Corey Pritchett Jr. Now, for those of you who don't know who Corey Pritchett Jr. is, he, came to fame on YouTube doing family vlogs with his wife, Carmen. Hold on, everybody. I'm going to pull them up so I can show them to you. And he's on the run right now. He got himself into some really, really horrible, and I do mean horrible, trouble for possibly holding some women against their will, threatening to unalive people and SA people, and he fled the country to Qatar with a one-way ticket. Let's see. So he's had several relationships. Let's see. So this would be the most recent picture of him. Hold on. Yeah, work with me, because I think that, okay, yeah, that's the best way for the camera angle. So this is the most recent picture of him. Let me find another one so that you can see pretty much where he started off from. So this is him and his ex-wife, Carmen. And they did very, very well for a certain period of time. And then it just seems like he just, out of nowhere, he just started unraveling. Carmen said, this is her quote, that, when it came down to it, he was worse than Diddy. Now, I don't know anything about that. Hell, that's saying a lot, honey. But they ended up going their separate ways because she said that, he pulled a weapon on her, would track her down, find out where she was, threaten her safety, all those types of things. So, extremely unfortunate. From what I can tell, he has mother wounds. They said that his mother abandoned him in the hospital, and other family members, took over and raised him. And just, it's just a wow moment. So, there we go again. And as you can see, there's someone else's thumbnail here. Hopefully you all can see that. Regular police and the feds are looking for him. So let's tap into this energy so that we can see what's going on with this young man, because when I say up Schitt's Creek with no paddle, Lord have mercy, he definitely has screwed up big time. According to reports, they're stating that the feds are working with the authorities in Dubai to bring him back home. So I don't know how that's going, but all of this happened, I want to say, on December 9th. It's just now making it to social media. Well, becoming popular on social media, rather. So, Man, this is a horrible fall from grace. Like, this was a guy that was making, you know, upward over, you know, $1 million on YouTube doing the family content. And then he gets called out and accused of doing like fake car show raffles with cars that he didn't even own. And just wow. Alrighty. Let me anoint my hands before I go off into this. Thank you in advance, everybody, for your patience. Because I got a feeling this one is going to be something else. Alrighty, angel, spirit guides, and ancestors of the highest heavenly order, show me the energy around Corey Pritchett Jr. Show me the energy around Corey Pritchett Jr., please and thank you. Okay, so first card out. 9 of Cups. Like, he really was doing well. He was having it his way. So, you know, how did things change? It's like, you know, he has stability in the marriage. But how did things change? Oh, partying. Money slowed down. Before I go any further, this reading is for entertainment purposes only. All things said are alleged and for entertainment purposes. Alrighty, so this already feels like somebody that became greedy. Hold on. Yeah, it's like like I said, he was having everything he wanted, and then the money started slowing down. So now we are at the 5 of Cups, and the 5 of Cups is like public shame, heartbreak, humiliation, pretty much, you know, what he's going through right now. Like, he's being dragged from sea to shining sea, and he can't come back from this because this is really the point of no return. Like, he's got the feds involved trying to track him down to bring him back to the States. Yeah. So you got the 7 of Cups here. Confusion, not knowing what he's going to do, trying to consider his options. Now, I usually always have my cards in the upright in the deck, so I'm going to turn this around, but I am going to acknowledge this because Palace of Coins in reverse is like he might run out of money. He might have, you know, went over there with the idea to escape, you know, with this thinking that, hey, I'm going to start a whole new life. And baby, that's big boy money over there. Like, out of all places you could have escaped to, maybe you should have, you know, scaled it down a little bit and went and hung out with Uncle Russ in Bali. Because, you know, over in Asia, it's a little bit more, well, it's a lot bit more affordable. So, wow. Also, 7 of Cups for me is also a card of someone who may have issues with substances. So it hasn't been said publicly, but allegedly, you know, he may have issues with substances, possible addictions of multiple sources, because we already see that, you know, he likes to party. He likes to turn up. Yeah. So here it is. You know, the King of Wands represents action and mobility. It also represents, you know, being like a well sought after person or a highly visible figure that is well known. Not really good with being in stable relations, because this is someone who, you know, they wander around. Okay, this is somebody who has the propensity to be like Johnny Appleseed. So damn, family situation, because you got the tree of life here. So this does go back to issues with family, the bloodline, generational curses, being unhealed, unable to, you know, deal with childhood trauma, and acting out as an adult. So, I mean, I'm a proud supporter of people going to therapy. Go and talk to somebody who doesn't know you, who doesn't know your familial history, that is trained and licensed in being able to help you build, you know, coping skills, and teaching you how to be responsible with how you feel and what you're going through. Because, you know, you got to heal so that you can let things go. And this is like, it's literally screaming at me that this is the hurt little boy acting out in a grown man's body. Yeah. Very, very, very anxious. He is not getting any rest. High anxiety, like literally like tweaking. Yeah. So Queen of Cups here, he could be reminiscing on, you know, the women in his life. It's like the wife is coming to mind, but also Queen of Cups is like loving type energy, the type of woman that can give you like the purest love ever, but you've got to accept that, you know, with that love, she's honest. She tells you the truth, and that truth could cut into you. And when you got somebody who has, you know, issues with love from their mother, it's really hard to receive this kind of love because you don't know what it's like. And, you know, having other people love you is not the same as having the very person who gave birth to you love you. So his wish fulfillment was always to have someone just love him, love him through his pain. But the thing is, that love can't heal you until you're ready to release, you know, everything that you've been through. And he hadn't learned to release that yet. Pardon me, everybody. Try to make sure y'all can see everything. This is a weird setup, but it's working. So yeah, he looked for, from what I can see, allegedly, he was constantly looking for a love that he yearned for. And what he really needed was to heal. Because he can only go so far with it before, you know, ending up being more comfortable here. Queen of Swords. So it's kind of weird because he had a dynamic where possibly, you know, the women that he may have dealt with up until he met his wife may have been very abrasive towards him. because he gives off like an awkward vibe, so to speak. So the ones that he liked may have been a little cutthroat with him, so to speak. Uh-oh, hold on, because you know YouTube be messing with us for these cards. So you got the Star card here. Let me cover up her little tarot boobs before they get all in their feelings, y'all. All right, so he put a lot of faith into, you know, the way that he was perceived, the way he was projected, the way people saw him. And this is part of the reason why money was so important to him, or the appearance of having money. But it looks like, you know, at a lot of times, you know, the Knight of Coins, he had to fake it till he made it. Because you Knight of Coins, honey, your money ain't going too far. Or, you know, you do just good enough, but you can't afford to have an emergency. But he kept the faith that, you know, the family angle was going to work, and eventually it did. So how do we get here to the Five of Cups? Okay, so it's like out of nowhere, you know, this is like when Carmen decided to walk away. So that was like a huge strike, a blow to his ego, because this was once again strife, public humiliation, shame, remorse, guilt, regret. And here he is back in this cycle right here, not knowing what to do, even scrambling at times on what actions he should take, having anxiety, because the way that he, you know, presents himself to the public means everything to him, because he never really got his self-esteem up. This is somebody who, no matter how he came off to people, I'm feeling a vibe of low self-esteem. So he had to portray a certain image so that he could feel better about himself, but he didn't understand you got to do the work internally. Looking a certain way to the public will never fix what's inside. Yeah, because like I said, generational curses, family issues, like this stuff ran deep. There may have even been an issue with substance abuse with certain people in the family, because it's like it's just wild for me, because looking at what's supposed to be the maternal energy, the Queen of Swords, she was never embracing or kind, or never really had anything good to say to him. Just did not want to be bothered with what she felt was the burden of motherhood, allegedly. Some people just, you know, they're just not cut out for it. Yeah. So you got the Page of Coins here. So when it comes to him deciding on what actions to take, you know, you've got what new business ventures are going to bring financial stability. So we got to find out what is it from these business ventures that led to this anxiety over here. Because, baby, when I tell you, I'm getting heavy energy of like somebody who is shaking like a leaf on the tree, like paranoid, tweaking, you know. Shout out to the Ghetto Boys. My mind is playing tricks on me. A Rockwell, it always feels like somebody's watching me. Why is this energy so intense? Now let's remember, this was in the deck like this in reverse and I turned it around, the Palace of Coins. He had financial troubles when it comes to his stability. So even to turn this in the upright, he was very, very worried about his financial stability, how he was going to maintain his wealth. And he was trying to come up with new hustles, new ways of making money so that he didn't end up ass out. Yeah. Justice and the Ten of Swords. So he had people that felt betrayed, and there may have been talks or possibly a vibe that people were going to go to law enforcement, and this was like a heavy betrayal that he could not escape. Also, this gives me the energy of possible street justice, and his intuition was heightened, because falling under the Queen of Cups is definitely intuition. So, you know, what he once thought was a wish fulfillment led to one of the greatest, you know, downfalls of his life, because here it is. He's trying to, okay, I'm hearing lick. He's trying to hit a lick, and licks are backfiring. You know, you hustling people. This is the energy I'm getting. You know, allegedly, he's hustling people, and he's trying to hit a lick, and these licks ain't, they're not working out the way they need to. And this is feeling like the money wasn't coming in fast enough. He had hope that, you know, eventually this was going to work, but the money wasn't coming in fast enough. And because of that, people were feeling betrayed, because he couldn't keep his end of the deal up on certain things, which also led back to public humiliation, embarrassment, shame, remorse, regret, and people walking away from him. This is crazy, because my spirit guides literally said this is somebody who just was not good at being street. So here it is, like, for the love of money, Ace of Cups. Also him thinking that he could, you know, recreate lightning in a glass. Okay, I did this with Carmen, I can do this again with somebody else. This relationship shit is easy. I'll just get another chick, we'll vlog, do the relationship situation, and boom, you know, I'm back in business. But it never seemed to quite work out. Yeah. Y'all, and it's like this shame, humiliation, regret, public shame at that, with the Eight of Cups. It led to him facing what, this is like Fed time, and you know, he knows everybody sees this. He knows he's being watched. He knows that they're looking for him. Page of Swords at the bottom of the deck to the Palace of Swords. So it's no way around it. If they can get him back in the United States, his ass is grass. He's going to prison. Okay, what is this? Queen of Swords. So he has some very, very strong personality women in his family tree. And he may have been a very sensitive child, and these women could have, you know, spoke to him and was considered like a sharp tongue, like, damn, I don't even want to say that, but you know, that boys don't cry type energy. I guess I might as well say it, because this is a little rough. But you know those chicks that's real hard nosed, and you know, you see a young boy who is a little sensitive, and he might be prone to cry or mope when he's in his feelings. And literally, this would be the type of woman that would look at that child and tell him, stop acting like a bitch. You acting like a girl. So it's not that he just didn't have love. It's what was presented to him. It was it was a little rough around the edges for sure. And it's like dealing with the pain of knowing that your own mother didn't, want you, and then having other women who may have been a little bit more, masculine than what he needed for his healing. It kind of just compiled on into the energy of the mother wounds. Yeah, so he had a lot of people he had to defend himself against over his choices. Hell, even the lovers that he decided to be with, okay? So his back was against the wall. This is why he was so damn paranoid. It was like everything that he was doing, trying to come up with money, trying to be slick, trying to bend corners, it was backfiring, because this feels like people was on his head. People wanted to know where he was at. He may even have people that wanted their damn money back. Why would people want their money back? What's going on here? Yeah. He had to find a new way to maneuver, because it was like everything that he was doing to maintain what he already had going on, it was not working the way he needed it to work. And it just didn't feel like he was willing to wait to build that next fan base, like the fan base that he had with him and Carmen. Excuse me, y'all. It's like I just got tired, just out of nowhere. Yeah. Ten of Swords just hit the table with the Three of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So it's people that felt very betrayed when it came to working and collaborating with him. Like I said, he had people that were, from what I'm feeling, allegedly, he had people that were looking for him. They wanted to get at him. And it's like Knight of Coins. If they can get at him if they wanted to, whatever they needed out of him, he didn't have it, and he didn't have enough time to get it. This is what the energy feels like to me. Yeah, he made the majority of his money while he was in this loving home, Palace of Cups. He made a business out of this relationship with him and Carmen, and it did very well, but nothing did as well as him selling the idea of family and love, which is ironic because he didn't know the first thing about being loved by family, from what I can see. Not in a healthy sense. Yeah. And see, it's like him getting other women. He go after these attractive, well-known women to try to build a new narrative, to build a new brand, and it just kept being an unrequited offer. It just was not working. And now we get to, him facing time, running out of time. Yeah, Eight of Coins. So, Eight of Coins under a Queen of Swords. that's like him aligning himself with, very, very intelligent women who know business. They know paperwork. They know how to hustle. Because the Queen of Swords can be a CEO, definitely a businesswoman, someone who can also work in law enforcement, or someone who knows the law well. And he thought that, if he could find this type of woman or attach himself to this type of woman, it would bring a rest to his problems. Four of Swords. Yeah. He had people trying to get at him left and right over money. And see, he was always, this is like, I get the word out, let's work, let's get it. We get this money. But then this is also people rushing in like, my duty. Where's that money, right? And he constantly found himself, in this space of having to defend himself about these new financial ventures and the actions that he was taking. And either way it went, he had people secretly watching him. And this goes back to that damn anxiety. Remember I said that, he, shout out to Rockwell. It always feels like somebody's watching me. Or the Ghetto Boys. My mind is playing tricks on me. He knew that secretly somebody always had their eye on him. And it was information that, he's got information that hasn't hit the public yet that will make this whole situation even worse when all of the information comes forward about what all he was into. Because he got himself into some strange situations trying to rebuild his image, or, give the image of affluence. And I'm hearing it all over again. Fake it till you make it. And it's crazy because it's not that he wasn't able to come up with a decent amount of money to live or survive. That's not even that. He couldn't get the type of money to live what appears to be like a celebrity lifestyle. But by an everyday person's standards, oh, he was good. He just became gluttonous. And this was his hangman. This is what put, the Ten of Wands, the weight of the world on his shoulders. He never could get enough. And because he could never get enough, this is like he was willing to step on people's toes to get what he needed, or to do what he needed to do. And him, cutting corners. Eventually, when you do that enough, you end up with not enough material to cover what you need to cover. And this is what happened. Like, he cut one too many corners trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. Yeah. So this more so feels like, to me, the reason why he escaped. Okay. There was a lot that he had on the line here. People had invested in him, and he had to get away from a toxic situation before it got too late. And even though he left the way that he did, he was going to have to get the hell on anyway, because whoever those guys were that he was nervous about at the bowling alley, okay, for those of you who don't know the story, he was out that day with some female company, and he went, to the gym, worked out with them, took them a few places. The last location was the bowling alley, and the young ladies that were with him stated that he and his friends, they were acting a little off, a little strange, like they were paranoid, like, just real aggy, right? So allegedly one of the young ladies suggested that if he felt like it was going to be a jump off, they were going to have a problem, maybe he should just leave the bowling alley because he was becoming very paranoid. Well, they realized that he left with their belongings in his car. So they were trying to get in touch with him so that they can get their belongings. And he agreed to swing back around and give them their belongings, but somehow, some way, he has it in his mind that the girls set him up. Now, mind you, they've been with him all day. This isn't their first location with him. He said that the girls set him up. They put him in a situation. Y'all, he went as far as to, he had some guys following him allegedly. He got to dumping out the moon roof at these guys while he was driving. I know, it sounds very, very Bad Boys 4, right? Then he threatened the females, put a firearm to them, made them hand over their phones, and he told them how he would violate them and unalive them. And they said that he called another female and asked the female, should he do it? And she said yes. And then out of nowhere, he lets them out the vehicle and tells them, this is the last chance you got. They get out with no phones. He left with their phones. And he goes to the airport, gets a one-way ticket to Qatar. And the women, whenever they got to safety, they went to the police. Now, that's a whole hell of a lot. I hope I summarized that the right way, because, baby, listen. So, I say all of that to say this. Whoever those guys were that were following behind him with the girls, it feels like to me that was the real issue. It wasn't the girls. He, from what I can see spiritually, allegedly, he owed someone money that he did not have to give. And this gives the whole, robbing Peter to pay Paul type vibe, to where, you try to maneuver. It's like, okay, well, I throw this one this, I get at them when I feel like getting at them. And it's like the walls were closing in, because it's like the city became smaller and smaller and smaller, because he had issues where he was going to have to leave anyway. It was getting hot for him. He was going to have to leave this whole situation behind, whether he wanted to or not. Yeah. Now, remember, I just said, like, you went to Dubai with a one-way ticket. But y'all, Dubai is not for the poor. He is a step away from being over there panhandling. Lord. And he wasn't that far off from this energy. Had he have stayed here in the States and paid everybody back, he would have literally went from sugar to shit. He would have lost everything trying to pay people back, and still would have owed people, allegedly, from what I'm seeing. And this is the real reason why he has to get out of here. Now, remember I said there was a lover or some young lady on the phone that he called, and he asked should he do whatever he was planning on doing, and she said yes. Who's this partner in crime? Literally. Because, I couldn't imagine somebody calling me, telling me that they got a group of females in their possession, and should you off them? What the hell type of question is that? Like, and how do you say yes? Lord, he got all types of damn secrets and whatnot going on. Now, mind you, I want to say it was up to 3 females that were in the vehicle with him. And they said that he told them that he was going to R-word them and unalive them. Now, you've got the Palace of Wands here and the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. And this to me feels like he may have been trying his hand in some old, you know, brothel type activities, pimps up, hoes down. He was getting off into some very interesting things. And I'm not saying that this was something that he was solidified in, but it just feels like somebody who's trying their hand in every pot until they either make some stone soup or the best gumbo you ever had. But in his case, everything he was doing was stone soup, because it took all these other people to put off into it for him to make something out of it. Yeah. The truth about his choices, his decisions, and whoever this lover is, I hope that, now I said partner in crime earlier, the Empress helps to bring things into fruition. Don't know if this is a pregnant woman, but that could be part of this as well. Girl, you a whole fool. Because baby, you're being watched. And he done literally ran off on the plug and left you to hold whatever the bag is on the charges. So because, you know, this is the feds, it don't take much for them to get your phone records. And those girls said that he called you on the phone to ask you if he should do it. If you're not already in custody, expect to be in custody by next week. Man, listen. The deck split while I was shuffling, y'all. I gotta show y'all this. The deck split while I was shuffling. Look. You see that? 8 of Swords. Woman trapped against her will. Also, woman going to jail. Tower. Situation that happens out of nowhere. Yeah, he left you. Hermit. He went off on his own and left you. And now that's a hangman for whoever this Empress is. And I don't get that, you know, she's an Empress as if, you know, she's an evolved woman. She may be pregnant, okay? This may be a woman who could be very heavily pregnant. Lord. Gots to be more careful is an understatement. Yeah, did a whole lot of sneaky stuff to get to the bag. Even, you know, underhanded things to get people to invest in him. It's like, when I'm telling you, everything feels like it's by hook or crook. Yeah, whatever he could do to get to financial stability. But like I said, he was trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. And being that that's falling under the 5 of coins, he may have already been flat broke. Like down to his last when he was coming up to these ideas. Yeah. He was... See, this is what's so bad about this. God tried to give him the opportunity of abundance through being a husband, being a father. his abundance was tied to his marriage, because it was a spiritual abundance that manifests from the supernatural into the 3D. This is why he couldn't get anything without, being in a structured environment like marriage, because God designed it that way for his life. That was his universal contract. As long as he was in this marriage and he did right by this marriage, he would always be abundant. It wasn't until he started dealing with all these other options and, doing this extra stuff, and it became infidelity in the marriage, that the money started to go downhill. Yep. And things unraveled swiftly. Something came to an end for a new beginning. And he's out here on his return of the Mac, but no sooner he got out here, this is when he started losing every damn thing. This is why they tell you they make sideways because everybody can't, they make sidewalks because everybody can't be in the street. Like, it's too late for him to understand how this works now, because spiritually his abundance was tied to his love, and his love was tied to his abundance. And as long as he did right by his marriage, this was God giving him the love that he didn't receive from his mother through his wife. And had they have been able to have a healthy marriage, they would have continued to be abundant throughout the marriage. But everybody has free will. Yeah, here it is. So then, he leaves his wife, and it's like the moon. All the things you're doing in secret to get to the money, you got with another wolf. See, you wanted to get out here and do slick shit, and you got with another scammer. And the universe came right back and snatched everything that you scammed right back. It's like abundance. Everything was going through his fingers like water. It was getting harder for him to keep up whatever the appearances were. Yep. And here it is, out of nowhere. See, this is what he thought was going to bring him his new abundance, but it's like he had to flee. He had to escape as fast as possible. Instead of his ships coming in, he had to take the first thing smoking to go overseas. So I'm going to end this here so that I can upload this. And just wow. This whole situation is really, really sad. And it's a huge, huge unnecessary cautionary tale where, if someone could just humble themselves and be happy with what God and the universe has given them. The abundance literally was attached to the love, and the love brought abundance. But he became gluttonous and had to learn the hard way. So when he decided to get out here and try to be street, because this was not the spiritual path for his life, the universe took everything back. He was never meant to be in the street. He was never meant to play gangster. He was meant to be a family man, and believe it or not, a community leader. But he decided he wanted to be tough when he grew up. But the type of tough that he wanted to be, he never had it in him. He's just not that type of guy. And that's not, taking, shots at him, so to speak. It's just, he was meant to be the good guy. And that's okay. But now he's found out the hard way. sometimes you worry about the good guy that finished last, but it's the bad guy who's finished for good. So I'm going to end this here. Thank you all for your viewerships and support. And man, all I can say is if you can do something right the first time, or you can, revamp your life, and you get the chance to start all over again to make your life better, take the high road. Maybe a little harder, but it's way more rewarding. And with that being said, good night, y'all. See you next time.